After a triumphant win in Cape Town, Samoa getting to the top of the mountain, and now is the tough part, trying to stay there. In the Hamilton Sevens, we're going to see a few new sides added into the Sevens circuit just for this leg. It is going to be exciting, and in this one we will be doing our Samoa Sevens preview with Hamilton only just around the corner. But if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to have plenty of Sevens updates all throughout the weekend, men's and women's. It's going to be an awesome weekend in New Zealand, and unfortunately it's the last time that we're going to get to see this event happen in New Zealand. Maybe forever. It depends on whether or not the circuit does end up coming back to NZ. But looking through at the Samoan squad, first of all, looking extremely strong as always. Similar to what it was for the Cape Town Sevens. We'll look through the lineup now. Va'apilo Maliko, one of the three co-captains. They've got to return. We will get to him in a very short moment. Next, Valwasa Afasua did very well in Cape Town, definitely with the absence of this next man, Malani Matavao. He's back for the Samoans, and to think that they were able to win that last leg of the Sevens without him in the squad, now having him back, it's going to be even harder for the other sides to try and beat the Samoans. Then the next name, Noeli Letufia, Motu Opitai, Owen Nui, Paul Scanlon, Steve Onisai. Those two are always brilliant to watch anytime Samoa are playing. Yuna Sioni, I said how crucial it was to have that little bit of extra height and strength, and he certainly brings both of those aspects. Taunuu Naulivaya, Fa'afoi Falaniko, and last but not least, Tuna Tuitama. Now, he's one of the newest names in the Samoan side, and every time he runs the ball or makes a tackle, you just hear a thud. Because that man, he doesn't do things by halves. It's either he's going to try and break the opposition in half, or it's going to break him in half in the process, which is exactly what Samoa wants. Someone who's willing to put in the big hits, but also be able to take a few in the process. But looking through at the group that Samoa find themselves in, they're in Pool A alongside Fiji. Big matches there, dream matches in fact in the group stage already. Then they have got France and also Kenya. So it's a relatively tough group. Kenya can cause an upset against any of the three sides, Fiji, France or Samoa. Maybe that could be the difference between that side making it through and missing out. But I think it's definitely between those top three, Samoa, Fiji and France. Don't get me wrong, with the talent in the Fijian and the French side, there is a chance that Samoa could miss out on the quarterfinals, but I don't believe that's going to happen. They're normally strong in New Zealand, and after winning that last championship, like I mentioned, they've tasted what it's like to be at the top of the bunch, and they don't want to give that up this early. Back to back would be very impressive for Samoa. So that's the way their group sits. All of their group stage matches will be taking place on Saturday, the first of which will be up against Kenya at 9:54 a.m. That is New Zealand time. Nice warm-up game for the Samoans, you'd like to think. Get a few tries under their belt, build momentum heading into their next game, which is actually at 1:22 p.m. So not a lot of break in between the games for this Hamilton Sevens. That will be up against France, and then only 2.5 hours later, they find themselves in action again, and that will be up against the Flying Fijians. That is a 4:06 p.m. kickoff. I don't believe a match like this has happened in the group stages since Samoa making their way back into the Sevens circuit. So it's certainly going to be an epic one. Who knows, maybe group stage Samoa might be able to find their momentum there. But quickly jumping back to the Samoa squad, it is now time to pick out our three key players that I feel will be the difference makers in this leg of the Sevens. And it is getting harder and harder to just pick three for Samoa's lineup. First of all though, I'm going with Va'apilo Maliko. He was able to score a try in that Cape Town Sevens final up against the Kiwis. Yes, he had to almost swim to the try line to be able to score it. Anyone who hasn't seen that final, it was an absolutely insane one. The water was not draining on the field. There was an absolute downpour in Cape Town. And we actually didn't get to see the first 4 or so minutes of that game, purely because the cameras couldn't handle the amount of water that was falling down on the pitch. But Samoa, they managed to win that game 12 points to 7. One of those reasons was Va'apilo Maliko, so that's why he is my first key player. Now, I could go with the other try scorer of that final, but I'm going to hold off. And instead, I am going to go Tuna Tuitama. Now, he is one of the newer players in this side, but for him only recently coming in and Samoa already winning a leg, he'll kind of get used to that feeling and almost expect it from himself. So I think he's going to have another big few performances in Hamilton just to be able to back up that gold medal that they were able to get in the last leg. And then my last name, I'm going with Yuna Sioni. I mentioned his size, I mentioned his strength, and the speed that that man's got. All three of them equal the number on his back, and he will probably score more than 3 tries throughout the Sevens leg. And that is my prediction. He's going to get more than 3 tries. It might be very tricky if Samoa did end up getting knocked out in the group stage, but I'm backing them to go further than just the group. So Unisioni going to get himself at least the 3. But now we're up to that stage, how I try and predict how far they're going in the comp. Now I do know that New Zealand are on the opposite side of the draw, so that works well. We won't get to see that final rematch, maybe up until the final. I know that they have to play off against someone in South Africa's pool, which does involve South Africa, Argentina, Canada, and Spain, who are actually very decent at the moment in the Sevens. So you'd work on the theory it's going to be South Africa and Argentina from Pool D, and maybe you go Samoa, Fiji, and Pool A. So depending on how that matches up, could be quite a tough quarterfinal for the Manu Samoans, but I'm going to say they get past it. We've seen in the past few leagues before they ended up winning, they were actually getting themselves very far in the comp just to lose in the semi-finals. So I'm going to say they make it quite far in this one, and I'm actually going to back them to make it through to the final. Now, whether they win the final could be a different story, depending on who it's up against, but I believe Samoa at least are making it to the semi-finals. But first they have to get past South Africa or Argentina, which is not going to be easy. But hopefully that form from Cape Town carried over. There'll be a lot of angry sides who want to redeem themselves, South Africa included. Losing on home soil, they'll be fired up and ready to go. And I can't wait to see who ends up taking out this Hamilton Sevens competition. But thank you all very much for tuning into this preview. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know how far you think Samoa are going in this competition. I should mention we are going to be doing the live commentary for the Sevens all throughout the weekend, so be sure to check out those streams as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.